Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Are the Duggars still IBLP? Counting on alums, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar faced a lot of controversies following the release of Shiny Happy People. The docuseries talked about the questionable teachings of the IBLP and its relationship with the Duggar family. Many family members have already denounced the church, but it seems there are still a few who remain. Keep reading to see which Duggars are still with the IBLP. Counting on. Which Duggars stepped away from the IBLP? Many of the Duggars are no longer with the IBLP. In 2017, Jinger left the church and has been vocal about her departure since. She even released a book titled Becoming Free Indeed, which talks about the harmful ideology of the IBLP and Bill Gothard. Jill also left the IBLP and released a book of her own called Counting the Cost. The Duggar cousin Amy is no longer a follower of the church as well. In September 2023, Jessa and Ben confirmed in a Q&A that they no longer follow the core values of the IBLP, just a few days after Joyanne and Austin revealed that they were never part of the church as a couple. Anna hasn't been seen participating in church activities, as well following the CSA arrest of her husband Josh, who are still with the IBLP. At this point, there are still a handful of family members who are still with the IBLP. Jim Bob and Michelle are still going strong with their church. It was also reported that the patriarch is one of the highly respected members of the IBLP. Many of the teens were spotted performing and still attending the church last year, such as Jackson, Johanna, Josie, Jordan, and Jennifer. Some of the adults have kept a private life, making it hard to tell if they're still with the IBLP after all of its issues. James and Jason have shared their worldly activities, some of which were against their church's standards, though they still share biblical quotes from time to time. Many of the Duggar women have also been wearing pants. One of them is Jana, who recently surfaced during the family's Christmas party, looking unrecognizable. Counting on. The downfall of the IBLP. The IBLP faced so much criticism following the documentary, Shiny Happy People. Multiple insiders and other sources have also shared negative stories about the church. It all began when their former leader, Bill Gothard, stepped down after being accused of sexual harassment. A website was even launched where people shared their dark experiences with him. One of them is a woman named Lizzie who claimed that she was inappropriately touched by Gothard as a teenager. If you are looking for more Duggar family news, come back to TV Shows Ace for all your updates. Are the Duggars still IBLP? The Duggar family, best known for their appearances on 19 Kids and Counting On, has long been associated with the Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP, a controversial Christian organization founded by Bill Gothard. For years, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar adhered to the IBLP's strict teachings, which emphasized principles like patriarchy, modesty, homeschooling, and strict gender roles. But in recent years, questions have arisen. Are the Duggars still part of the IBLP? Or have they distanced themselves from the organization that shaped so much of their lives? The IBLP has been a significant influence on the Duggar family's values and lifestyle. Jim Bob and Michelle have openly endorsed the teachings of Bill Gothard, whose programs and seminars provided the framework for their family's rigid rules and beliefs. From the Duggars' famous courtship rules, which prohibit physical contact until marriage, to their views on modesty and large families, much of their public persona has been tied to IBLP's teachings. The Duggars' participation in IBLP events like the Basic Seminar and the ATI, Advanced Training Institute, homeschooling program was well documented on their reality shows, and their adherence to these rules seemed like an unwavering part of their identity. However, as the Duggar children grew older and began to experience the world outside of their parents' sphere of influence, some began to question the IBLP's teachings and the extent of its control over their lives. Jill Duggar, for example, was one of the first to distance herself publicly from the IBLP and her parents' strict rules. In her memoir, Counting the Cost, Jill opened up about the emotional and spiritual toll of growing up under IBLP's influence. She discussed how she began to break away from the organization's teachings as she grew older, especially after she and her husband, Derek Dillard, sought to establish more independence from Jim Bob's authority. Ginger Duggar also made waves by distancing herself from the IBLP's legalistic approach to faith. After moving to California with her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, Ginger embraced a more modern and liberal form of Christianity, which was seen as a departure from the strictness of the IBLP. Her journey was marked by a shift in beliefs that suggested she no longer subscribed to the rigid structures the IBLP had promoted, particularly when it came to gender roles and women's rights. So where does the Duggar family stand today? While some of the Duggar children have moved away from the IBLP and the lifestyle it promotes, it is unclear whether Jim Bob and Michelle have fully severed ties with the organization. The couple still appears to hold traditional values and continue to promote many of the principles they learned from IBLP, including their focus on large families, homeschooling, and patriarchy. However, their public involvement with IBLP events has diminished over time, and they have not made any formal declarations about whether they remain active members of the organization. Given the growing public scrutiny of the IBLP, especially after multiple allegations of abuse and scandals surrounding Bill Gothard, it is likely that the Duggars have become more private about their association with the organization. Some of the younger Duggar children, such as Gianna and Joseph, have not made public statements about their current relationship with IBLP, leaving fans to wonder where they stand. In conclusion, while it appears that some members of the Duggar family have distanced themselves from the IBLP, the extent of the family's continued involvement remains unclear. As more children carve out their own paths and challenge the teachings they grew up with, it's possible that the Duggar family may continue to evolve away from the organization that once defined them. But whether or not they officially break away from the IBLP will likely remain a matter of personal choice, with each family member taking their own journey toward faith, freedom, and independence. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our Reality TV 24 channel and stay with us.